it is Champions League week, so I thought, you know what? Let's have a look at some of my personal dream Champions League matches that never happened. Before we begin though, important things to remember. Number one, I'm going to go with when the format changed. So it's going to be from 2004 onwards, because obviously before they had a different system. And I'm not saying these two have never met before. I'm just saying in this specific year, I would have loved to have seen that matchup. I'm not saying they've never met before. Oh, and also important to note, I'm not trying to take away anything from the teams that made it through. It goes without saying, but I just want to put that out there. You know, I'm not trying to rewrite history. These are just my dream Champions League matches that never happened. Without further ado, up first, Arsenal against Milan in 2004. This would have been a dream final for that year. Let me paint you a picture, right? Well, both would actually go out in the quarterfinals, before I tell you, because Milan would win the first leg 4-1 to Deportivo at home, and then they lose the second leg 4-0 in one of the biggest Champions League upsets or shocks of all time. And well, Arsenal would go out to Chelsea, the infamous, for Arsenal fans, Wayne Bridge goal of all people. Now, the reason I put these two is, listen, okay, let me paint you the picture. Milan, right, they've just won the previous Champions League. They are the reigning champions, and they were even better this year than they were the year before, having bought Kaka, who, slotted into that team so nicely. And they would actually go on to dominate Serie A that season. I think only losing 2 games, back then, winning the Serie A in that manner, that wasn't easy at all. So they were definitely better than they were. And Arsenal, was it? Invincibles. Invincibles. They didn't even lose a flipping game. 0 losses. So imagine if these two clashed. What a matchup that would have been. I'll give you my prediction on who I think would have won. And you guys let me know, yeah? You guys let me know who would have won if these two met. For the ones I'm going to do. I think, personally, Milan would have won it. I think they would have had too much, even for the Invincibles that year. But yeah, let me know what you think. Up next, we got Milan, once again, this time against Chelsea in 2005. So just a year later, Jose, well, he's the current reigning European manager champion, having just won it with Porto the year before. So he definitely knows what it takes to win that competition already. And listen, he's built a super team at Chelsea. It's an absolute powerhouse. They'd run away with the league, Chelsea's first title in God knows how long. So, he definitely had something going there. And, well, in the Champions League, they'd actually eliminate Barcelona in the last 16 convincingly, right? This Barcelona team was very, very good. They had Ronaldinho at his best. And, Chelsea would win it convincingly. And then they'd eliminate Bayern in the quarters. A little bit less convincing, but they done the job nonetheless. And then, just when you thought it was going to be a Chelsea against Milan final, well, Liverpool had other ideas. Because you see, as much as they were struggling domestically, under Benitez in Europe, they were a whole different beast. And they'd go on to beat both Chelsea and Milan. So in the semi-finals, if you remember correctly, that infamous Luis Garcia goal, again, a tightly contested affair between Liverpool and Chelsea, as tended to be the case when these two matched in those years. And not too much action. It could have went either way. It went Liverpool's way. And, well, then the famous Istanbul comeback in Milan. I personally would have loved to have seen Chelsea against Milan that season. We wouldn't have got a better game in the final, that's for damn sure. But I think my prediction... Yeah, I think Chelsea would have edged it. Because, again, Jose, Jose in a final, you can't really bet against him too much. So I think he would have just about edged it. And modern football at the time, I think it would just twist in. Milan had the crazy team on paper, but I think Jose's 4-3-3 that he had built, I think Chelsea would have won it. Up next, I've got United against Inter in 2010. So again, another Jose team in the final. But as for United, they would actually go out in the quarters the same season to Bayern Munich. The reason I've put this game is because I think United should have beat Bayern. I really think it was one of those where, they had gone in the lead 3-0 at Old Trafford, right? So everyone thought it was done and dusted, and then Raphael would actually get sent off, and then that infamous, why do I keep saying infamous? Famous for the rest of the world, infamous for United fans, Robben goal. It was a ping ping, if you remember that one, ping in the bottom corner. Listen, the reason I say this is because Bayern, they had Robben and Olic, who were specifically Robben this season in close to unplayable mode, but I think the rest of the team wasn't that strong. I think United were better, and speaking about unplayable, Rooney that year was terrific. So, and then we would have got a Fergie against Jose final. I think it would have been a tougher final for Winter that same season if we got United than it would have been Bayern. And I mean, listen, I'm not gonna complain. Obviously, we've won it, but yeah, I think my prediction, I think Inter would have still won it even if it was United, because remember that same season, not being biased, but we did eliminate both Chelsea and Barcelona, who were, I think, better than what United were. But yeah, just for a Jose Fergie final, I think I would have loved to have seen that game. Up next, Real Madrid against Barcelona in 2012. Now, I've went with 2012. You really could have went with 2015 as well, 2018, but the reason 2012, it would have been an El Clasico final, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's ever been a final between the two, right? In a Champions League final. I could be wrong with that, if memory serves me correctly, maybe in the olden times, I don't know. But yeah, I think, listen, the tension at this specific year would have been, it was the highest it's ever been between the two, almost, you could say. So with Jose, I promise you, I'm not trying to pick Jose teams, but again, Jose in charge of Madrid, Pep in charge of Barca. Oh, this would have been a cracking game. Messi against Ronaldo, both in their primes. These two would actually go out in the semis that year. Madrid to Bayern Munich. I think I mentioned this in the Ronaldo against Messi debate. On pens, I think they should have went through. And as for Barca, well, they'd go out to Chelsea, in a way deservedly, because it was in their hands and they threw it away. Messi missing a pen and all of that, all the possession, but they couldn't make it count, and Chelsea capitalised beautifully on it. But yeah, I think Madrid against Barca would have been my prediction. I mean, listen, so the tide has shifted in Spain, right? Madrid had won the league that year under Jose, that famous, Centurions scoring 121 goals. But I think I'm going to go with, I know I said I'm never going to bet against a Jose team, but I think psychologically Barca still had a bit too much, I think, for Madrid in this period. Like I said, it was shifting. They had won it with Ronaldo, but Barca would win the first one. Barca were winning the vast majority in this period. But then again, Madrid would actually, Jose did figure them out even later that year, 2013. He'd win the ties against them. But Barca would still win the league. I'm going off topic. No, come on. I think Barca, just about. Let me know what you think. It would have been, that would have been beautiful to watch. Up next, Ajax against, either Barcelona or Liverpool in 2019. Now, the main reason I've put either of those teams is because, everyone thought it was going to be Ajax against Barca. We were gearing up for that year, and then those famous, crazy comebacks have happened. Now, no offense to Spurs, the reason I've put Ajax here, I think, I'm not going to say they deserved it, because obviously, Spurs done so well to come back, but the Ajax team, man, I would have loved to have seen them go all the way, because they were that good. They had eliminated Juve and Real Madrid that year, which, two crazy teams. But, Ajax, it would have been a better final. That's for damn sure. Between Ajax and Barca or Ajax and Liverpool. It would have been interesting to see how Liverpool would have dealt with Ajax, how Klopp would have dealt with them. I think obviously prediction-wise, both Liverpool and Barca would have been favourites. But, so yeah, I guess I'll favour those two. But man, oh man, the Ajax team really would have deserved it if they won it that year. And last, but certainly not least, I've got City against Bayern in 2020, so last year. Now, if you guys remember correctly, City were not having the best of seasons, but then when the pandemic broke out and then football would later resume, they came out like completely different beasts. They seemed like they had a chip on their shoulder and they really wanted to prove, and they really wanted the Champions League. Remember, they couldn't win the league, but they would trash Liverpool as well, the reigning, the soon-to-be champions at that time at the Etihad. And yeah, you could sense like they won the Champions League. They're coming for it. Pep's got this, right? Pep's got this. But then would come the crazy game against Lyon, where I think the blame lies on Pep. I still do. I think he overthought that one. And obviously credit to Lyon, as I've said. I don't want to take anything away from the teams, but And well, that Sterling miss. Because Bayern at this time, it would have been Bayern against City. Bayern having just obliterated Barcelona 8-2. And then the only team I thought that could have stopped Bayern would have been City. And they would have met in the semis. But we could get it this year. Hopefully we do, because I really need to see that game. My prediction last year, I would have went with Bayern still. But I would have loved to have seen how Pep would have approached that game. But like I said, hopefully we get to see it this year. But yeah, that is all from me. Let me know if you have any Champions League dream matches that I didn't mention that you would have loved to have seen. And also, please let me know your thoughts and predictions on the games that I described as well. Even the ones that you have. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. It is Champions League week, so do enjoy it. Catch you next time.